Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. You know what you need to do. Share this live, like this video if you haven't already, and of course, subscribe to the channel because you're getting daily and consistent content. And be sure to check out all of what you've missed already today, including a story on Kim Kardashian and her battle with Kanye on social media, and a really interesting story, and of course, it's one of the stories not necessarily getting a lot of attention from media on Joe Rogan. And no, it's not about COVID. It's about him using the N-word multiple times. Be sure to check that out and be sure to share it because I think, there are certain stories people want to keep hidden. Let's not keep that one hidden. As you know, every single Friday here on the channel, I ask you to bring something spicy to drink in your best pair of shoes. It is the final episode of And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot that has been quite successful despite everyone's think pieces and critiques of the show. And based on what we're hearing from Michael Patrick King, he loves it. He's eating it up. He's eating it up. So before we begin, guys, be sure to like the video. Be sure to drop your crowns and your elephants in the chat and let me know where you're watching from. It's your boy, TheKempire, and you're listening to me here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Maybe you're listening on TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, or maybe you're listening on TikTok. What's going on, TikTok? Let me turn the camera a little bit more this way so you guys can see me. Hey, TikTok. We are also live on Twitch and Twitter. Shout out to everyone that's listening on various platforms. We appreciate you no matter where you're listening. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. And be sure, if you would like to join, again, our texting community, head on over to TextKempire.com. Yes, I know. You're like, oh, these ads. Look, you don't like ads. You know where you can go. Look, we got to keep the lights on some way, somehow. Let's get into this recap. Let me open my notes. I will show my face in just a second. Let me open my notes. Oh, Carrie. You guys know I went on that bridge. One of my last trips before the pandemic hit was to Paris. And I had a friend that lives there. Well, I have a friend that lives there. I shouldn't say had. God rest his soul. No, I'm playing. And he took me to that bridge and I said, this is the bridge? So to see them go back there this episode, it was like, oh. But you saw how they cut out big. I'm wondering, did they have to go back and edit him out? Or did they literally go and film again? I have questions, Michael Patrick King. And I did listen to the writer's room, but they don't address those secrets. And I guess because they don't want to address the elephant in the room. Chris Noth. Thank you so much, D. Thank you. Oh, South Korea's in the building. What's going on, South Korea? What's going on? Oh, yes. Rain says, I've enjoyed And Just Like That so much. What's going on, Carol from New York City, drinking club soda and wearing UGG socks. Love it. Especially here in New York right now. And shout out to what's going on, Rosemary. Okay. Yes, Queens of New York is in the building. Come on. Yes, Kanye needs to stop. We know. What's going on? Alini? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hi, Kempire. New here from Boca. I love all your videos. Thank you. Shout out to everyone that is new to the channel, that's new to multiple platforms. We appreciate you. And shout out to everyone that's been supporting over the last year, over the last few months. We appreciate you. The road to 100,000 subscribers is right around the corner, and we appreciate all of you. But we also appreciate those of you that watch the videos every day. We appreciate that. So back to Sex and the City. Oh, no, it's not Sex and the City. Or is it? Because at the end of this episode, again, spoilers, if you did not watch, I don't know why you're here. If you didn't watch it and you hate spoilers, I don't know why you're here. But I don't think that's the situation here. So we finally get this last episode. And some of you have checked out. Some of my friends said they have checked out of And Just Like That. But that's not according to HBO Max and their numbers. And Just Like That is one of their top, if not the top rated show on the platform. You know they're coming back for a second season. The way that they left the storylines, we definitely need more. And damn you guys, they wrote Che off. I don't think Che's coming back next season. Damn you. Even though Che was a little annoying this episode, I have to say Che was a little annoying with their whole performance. Although, what a beautiful voice! What a beautiful voice! Oh my gosh, I love the song. What a beautiful voice. All right, I'm jumping around, but if you've been here a while, you understand. Look what I got. It's a mimosa. No, it's not. It's orange juice and salsa water. And I got some hauls because if you've been following since yesterday, the sore throat's feeling a little bit better. It's probably because I've been doing what I need to do. Honey, lemon, all that good stuff. But I got my hauls here just in case. So I won't be talking a lot. Guys, don't forget later on tonight, right after this live at 10 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. PST, my interview with Ladies Who List Atlanta star Crystal Kimbrough will premiere. So be sure to stay tuned for that at 10 p.m. Eastern. That will be going on after this because I know you guys are going to talk a lot. I will be dropping the link. So let's get those likes up if you haven't liked the video already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Let me get into this. At the top of the episode, you remember, if you have been here since the beginning of our recaps of And Just Like That, I said, I know the actor. I think we figured it out. He was from like Brothers and Sisters. And he was playing the producer, but they didn't give him any sort of real attention. We just saw him there. And then we find out in the writer's room, if you didn't listen to the podcast that assists the show, the writer's room, they said that was very much intentional. They were like, get us one of those actors, a sexy actor that looks just like a really sexy, popular extra. To me, I was like, no, he's no extra. He's no extra. I knew from the beginning. I was like, why are they not paying any attention to him? Why does he not have any like lines? He's not just any actor. He's not an extra. Well, we discovered, I don't know if we discovered this before. His name is Franklin because they said it several times this episode. Yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. And that's who I saw her with from the beginning. As soon as we knew that Big was dead, but even before Big was dead, I was sort of like, Foxy says, I like Che. Well, a lot of people didn't. There were a lot of think pieces on social media about Che and how Che was too. Oh, no, sorry. Woke moment. That one. Yes, we got our own little woke moment. A little too woke. But Michael Patrick King loves the fact that people have such an aversion to the show. Well, not an aversion, but there's so much conversation around this show because it could be the opposite, literally be the opposite. No one's talking about it. It just sort of falls under. And no one's talking about it, but everyone's been talking about it. We've been talking about it every single Friday night. Jazzy says the writers did Che dirty. See, Terry, thank you for having my back on this one. That's right, Kempire. You called it in the beginning. I sensed it. And I was just kind of like, why are they trying to throw us off with this? There's something happening with that producer. Anyways, I've gone all the way to the end and I didn't want to do that. Let me focus. At the top, we're at the podcast. They're talking about how they got broken up with. Che, your FaceTime broken up situation, that's nothing. At least you got a FaceTime. Someone broke up with me through a text. And no, it wasn't a Cancer or a Gemini or the Pisces or the ones that we shade. It was another Taurus. Hey, Norma. Norma says Franklin was fine. Franklin is fine. Oh my God, Michael Jackson's back. What's going on, Michael? They succeeded in reflecting New York demographics. Yes, and I think now by the end of it, people are a little bit more invested in people like Naya. People are more. We're still not invested in LTW. I saw LTW at the mitzvah. I was like, who cares? I didn't want that for my girl Nicole Ari Parker. I wanted her to be amazing. But I have to give her another shot. And it's not her fault. It's the writer's fault. It's the writer's fault. You could have done her so much better. She came again and we were like, oh God, she's back. Nicole, those little turbans that you're wearing, that's from your line, isn't it? That's from her line. Doesn't she have like a turban line or something like that? I believe she does. She has something. Eleni, thank you so much for this super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Yes, Rosemary. Let's get to 100 likes, guys. If you haven't already, we are talking about And Just Like That, the season finale. And I can almost guarantee we have not heard official word that And Just Like That is coming back. However, they are. Come on now. If they gave Divorce a second season, sorry, Sarah. But you knew it wasn't good either. No, Divorce wasn't that bad. It had its moments, but it wasn't right after the success of Sex and the City. Keep looking over. Wow, April says I prefer LTW instead of Che. I think a lot of people would agree with you, but I liked Che. I really did like Che. We will get back to Che in a second. So Carrie, as you know, the last week's episode set up a third strike date with the teacher. Can't even remember his name. It's unimportant because he's not coming back. I have a question for you guys. I know people that Google dates. I have never Googled a date. And I don't know why. Maybe I'm just not that nosy, at least when it comes to real life people. You know, I'm nosy with everything else. I've never Googled a date. I can, God, see, here's the thing. Some people aren't Googleable. Only thing that will come up will be like their social media, which can hold a lot of information. But can you imagine when they Google me? God only knows what comes up. I don't even Google myself. I don't have Google alerts. Do they still have those? Who said, Kate, thank you so much for the super chat. They're not writing Bobby Lee well either. Bobby Lee? Who's Bobby Lee? Oh my gosh. Exactly, Norma. Teacher's name. But that was intentional. They did not want us to get invested in this character. They didn't. They did not want to get invested in this character. And I'm glad. And even the kiss was nothing. I literally watched this episode twice today. I watched it earlier after my last live where we recapped the Real Housewives of Miami. And then I watched it right before this live. That's why I was a couple minutes late, because I was like, wait, I got to see it again. I got to see the ending. There's just so much that you miss. And one thing I can appreciate, and I know a lot of writers and producers are very intentional in what they do, but just not like our Sex and the City writers and producers. Very intentional, very specific. Carrie kisses this man and she feels nothing. And the first person she calls, Seema. That's important to notice. It was one of the first things I was like, she didn't call Miranda. She didn't call Charlotte. And it doesn't lessen the friendship. They have their lives. They have their kids. Seema, single woman, not shaming her, single man. But she's with that man. Zed, right? Ooh. I think I still have my picture of Zed, don't I? I still have my picture of Zed somewhere. Hold on. Y'all know I had to keep my picture of Zed in here. Come on. Wait, hold on. Oh, here he is. I need to label this Zed. It's my boo right here. Come on now. She was laid up in the bed with him. Laid up in the bed with him. She says she hasn't left his hotel room all weekend. Have you ever had a moment like that in your life? Have you ever had a moment like that where you spent, well, again, I'll tell you, the same person that broke up with me via text is the same one I had a weekend like that where we didn't leave the apartment for the entire weekend. Damn, Zed. Are you going to just see it that way? Don't do her that way. Oh my gosh. Don't do Seema that way. Seema that way. Oh my goodness. Let me take a sip, y'all. Norma, how dare you ask me this question in public? I don't have any booze right now. I'm talking about past history. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. Not that I'm closing. Look, I am not closing the door. I will never. Oh my. So, but she picks up anyway. That's why Seema is her bestie. She's in the middle of a sex-filled weekend, and she still picks up the phone. Picks up the phone. Oh my gosh, Shantae, he was in it, right? Zed from the Paris episode in the Prada store. I almost forgot about that. As soon as you said it, I said, there's just so many actors that we know their faces, but we don't know their real names. Franklin, who the new character, the podcast producer, very much so. We know his face, but we can't recall his actual name. I'm sorry. Look, sorry. So Seema picks up, but Seema's busy. But Seema's still trying to be a friend. Oh, the kiss wasn't that good. Oh, damn. Then, of course, after she calls, well, she figures that Seema's busy. She gets immediately off the phone. Yes, Boxer Girl. Yes, he is also in Emily in Paris, which I started watching last week, but I haven't finished it yet. I like that show too. I like that show. I love Paris. I need to get back to Paris. When can I get back to Paris? Maybe in the spring. Maybe I will try and go to Paris in the spring. I went for Christmas before the pandemic. Literally, right before the pandemic. Thank you, Russ. And a bunch of other things. I know he was in Devious Maids. Franklin is Ivan Hernandez. I probably will forget that name after this live. I apologize, Ivan, but we love you. And we're going to get to know who you are season 2. Because by the end of this episode, she's full on making out with him in the elevator. I saw that coming. But before we get there, so Carrie ends up letting Miranda and Charlotte know about the date. And this is very specific. I didn't realize that the set is an actual set when they meet up in this restaurant. There's so many restaurants that look like this set. I'm just shocked that they couldn't find one, especially nowadays, because a lot of them have closed down here in New York. But they always build out a set for when they meet up in a cafe. So they meet up, and this is where we are introduced to all of what's going on with the ladies, including Carrie's teacher situation, Miranda's whole Che situation, and of course Charlotte's now they mitzvah situation. All right. System says love Devious Maids. It was very good. It was very, very good. April says that elevator kiss was horrific. It was awkward. It was a little awkward, but it was more passionate than her kiss with the teacher. I think it was only awkward because of Carrie. I'm never moved by Sarah Jessica Parker and her kissing scenes. This is very awkward. It's very awkward. Oh, Miss Brooklyn. I did not forget. You know how my elephant brain works. Just because I'm not going in order means that I forgot anything. She also tells Samantha about her kiss. Here's the thing. This reminds me of, you may have recalled if you follow me on social media, that Michael Patrick King has come out about the possibility of Kim Cattrall coming back. You may recall before the show started, they said, or when the show was just beginning, they said the door is left open for Samantha to return in season 2. Well, now they are singing a different tune. And it might be because the show has been successful without her. The fans are still watching without her. They weren't sure before, so they didn't want to piss off anybody. Well, now they're changing their tune. And now Sarah Jessica Parker, at the time, until today, is breaking her silence on whether or not she thinks that Kim Cattrall would, if they're open to her coming back. This is what she told Variety. She says, I don't think I would, because I think there's just too much public history of feelings on her part that she's shared. This is a very different tune. This is a very different tune. She goes on to say, I haven't participated in or read articles, although people are inclined to let me know. Okay. And this is coming out literally after I heard Michael Patrick King say the same exact thing. I think this is just what they've all agreed to say when asked about Kim Cattrall possibly coming back for season 2. I think a lot of people still miss Samantha, but now that we got Seema, we don't care. I told y'all that I didn't care from the beginning. I loved Samantha as much as anyone, but I was like, that's not the only reason why I love Sex and the City. That wasn't the reason why I tuned in to Sex and the City. It was all of them. It was all of them. But I'm not surprised. The show has been successful. If you're just joining us, from what we're hearing, HBO Max says that this show, if not the number one show on the platform, is definitely one of the number one shows. I also saw Euphoria had 100% increase in ratings from the previous season. That's so dark. I've been watching it though. Oh, you need a stiff drink for that show. But the cinematography of that show, it's amazing. Amazing. Exactly, Lisa. In the words of Nene, the door is closed. Look, it is. And we have to understand something about Hollywood. If you don't, let me tell you. And this is probably why I have to build my own platform, my own table, and my own chairs. Because if you're not hobnobbing and sucking up to the suits, they won't give you opportunities. They won't. They won't open those doors unless you come barreling through those doors yourself or you create your own platform. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do me. And apparently Kim Cattrall said the same thing. Kim Cattrall, though, everyone's saying, well, now she has that new job on How I Met Your Father. I heard it's not good, y'all. So don't be surprised if Kim Cattrall's back trying to suck up. I don't blame her, though. I don't blame her. She's probably dealt with a lot of things in Hollywood over the years, and she was just like, I'm done with it. I don't believe the story about SJP. Honestly, I don't. I know some people do. I do believe some of the things that I've heard about Kim Cattrall. But look, Kim, she's made a lot of money from being on this show. People still miss her. But, you know, Lauren says, lies, Kempire. We need Samantha back. Not according to the ratings. I'm telling you right now, there is no way that Michael Patrick King and Sarah Jessica Parker, the executive producers of the show, would come out and say that too much has been said publicly from Kim, that they are no longer open for her to return. They were treading that line before, and they would never say it. They're only saying it now because the show is doing well without her. Just saying. But I do love that they're doing on the show. It still feels like we have Kim there, though. We still have our Samantha. Carrie is texting her at one point after her date, saying that she kissed she kissed the man, and she was like, there will be many men that you're going to kiss. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And then she says, Carrie says it's not big. And she was like, then it's small. Samantha humor. We have to remember Samantha is a character. Yes, Kim Cattrall brought that character to life, but it still feels as if Samantha is still there. And then, of course, Carrie reaches out and says, want to talk? All she replies, soon. Of course, fast forward to Carrie on the bridge. That I actually was on the bridge, and right across from the bridge, that's how I know I was there. Right across from the bridge, I forgot what it's called. It's one of the places there, because the French are very, very, very particular about their language. the place that's right there by the bridge is that's where all the scholars are when it comes to the French language. Shout out to my friend that was teaching me all about France when I was there. I was like, oh, there was also a clown on the bridge. Look, when I was there was a clown on the bridge trying to talk to me. Mind you, I don't speak French. But my friend was just like, the same thing that I would do if we were here in New York and, somebody's trying to get change or trying to talk to you on the subway or something. Come on, let's go. That's what I was like, what was he saying? I have no idea what he was saying. But I've already fast forwarded too much. We meet a new character, Rabbi Jen, who is a trans rabbi and who was just perfect comic relief. Comic relief. Rock is not ready. Rock is not ready for this day mitzvah because, again, in true Charlotte fashion, she is forcing traditions down her children's throats. And Rock is not interested. And that's why Rock doesn't know anything, is not prepared. Rabbi Jen comes in and is like, they're not prepared. And then, of course, Anthony comes in. If you missed my video where I talk about the 10-episode arc for Willie Garson, may he rest in peace. There was a 10-episode arc. They had to change things up because he was so sick. But the same happened with Anthony. They had to change certain things up for Anthony. They were going to break them up. Everything that you guys wanted, they were going to break Anthony and Stanny up. Thank you so much, Christy, for the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. El Michelle says, love the rabbi. Definitely. The rabbi just had me laughing. Data says, unpopular opinion. I love when you guys started your comments like that. Unpopular opinion. It's a little too LGBT for me. What's a little too LGBT for you? The show? Really? I don't know. I mean, I think that could be said about everything this season. People are like, oh, it's a little too woke. Woke moment. Okay. But if you live in New York, literally when you walk out the door, it's diversity. That's the one thing that I love about New York. The area that I live in, diverse. So that was one of the biggest criticisms of the show. And now that we've gotten it, people are criticizing us for it. Look, criticizing us like I'm a producer. Never know. I was so in my head earlier today. Maybe something's going on. Anybody felt off this week? You know how I was saying, I want to be in season 2 of And Just Like That. I still want to. But for a second there, I had that little moment where I was like, oh, but that's not gonna, that might not happen. Woke moment. I had to shut myself up. I said, no, sorry, it's going to happen. Maddie says, I like variety. Yes. Latasha, welcome to the membership, guys. If you'd like to become a member of the channel and support the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com for more details. Maddie says, how can anything be too LGBT? Gay is amazing. I mean, you're not going to get an argument from me. Norma says that Rabbi Jen was the best. She would be better than Che. Come on, leave Che alone. They already wrote Che off. Che is going to California. Let's talk about Che. So Cynthia meets Cynthia. Lord, I literally wrote Cynthia and not Miranda. Damn. Uh-oh, Miranda. That's not good. So Che puts on a performance. And look, this is a part of the reason why people do not like Che. Because everything becomes about them. If it's not the comedy, it's now Che is singing. Although I loved the song and I loved Che's voice. But Miranda is very confused. Miranda is very confused. Like, what's happening here? A pilot? You're going to California, but then Che admits to being narcissistic, which we can appreciate, and then invites Miranda to come with them. And then of course, when you fast forward and Miranda's like, really? This goes against everything that Miranda is and was. And I think a lot of people thought by the end of this, Miranda would be like, no, I'm going to stay, especially when she meets with Naya, and Naya brings up the whole internship that she wrote a glowing recommendation for Miranda. Miranda would stay for her career aspirations. But by the end of this, Miranda's no longer gray. The red hair is back. And I have to say, she looks good with the red hair. The red hair is back, and she's off to be with Che in California. All right. After Che tells Miranda that they're, moving to California, Che then has to break the news to the podcast family. Mind you, in this day and age, podcasts are done from anywhere. You don't have to be in New York City to do the podcast. But this is another sign that Che won't be back next season, and I am mad at all of you. I am mad at all of you. They wrote Che off. The same way they edited out Big, they wrote Che off. Che is no longer coming back. Oh, damn it. Y'all took that job from Che. Norma, thank you so much for the super chat. I happen to like Che. So glad Sarah Ramirez was able to show her singing. Right? Oh my gosh, so good. She was on Broadway before. She's gay amazing. I don't know if I need to ask Sarah if their pronoun is she or is it the same as the character Che. I know that Michael Patrick King referred to Sarah as they in the podcast, but I'm not sure. I just, I just want to be respectful. All right. So okay. Some people. All right. Norma says Che will be back. I don't know. You want to make a bet on that? Look, you want to make a bet on that, Norma? Okay, Lauren. Thank you. Sarah Ramirez is non-binary. All right. So I just want to make sure. Oh, damn. Buttercup says, I like Che. I dislike Miranda. Miranda, to me, we're seeing a transformation. Miranda was a little bit harder edge. Miranda was breaking all of that down this season. I know a lot of people are wondering, okay, what happened to the alcoholism? I know plenty of people, well, not personally. There are plenty of people that may have an issue with drinking that may not necessarily be an alcoholic, and they can just quit and be done with it. So that to me didn't stand out as, you know what I mean? Okay. Yes, guys, let's get to 150 likes, and I'll drop the call link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts on the finale of And Just Like That. And if you notice at the end of this season finale, they just ended it as And Just Like That. And of course, okay, before I get to that. So Che lets the podcast fam know podcast is done. I'm going to California. Then Jackie invites Carrie to his party that turns into a wedding. That felt so unnecessary, but I know why they did it. They wanted Carrie and Franklin to meet up with each other again and have that one-on-one moment. It just felt so unnecessary. I feel like they could have done that at the podcast. Yeah, I didn't like that scene. I mean, it was colorful. It was pretty. I like smoke, but that was it. I was just like, okay, whatever. Anyways, so I already told you that Miranda has that meeting with Naya, but one thing I didn't tell you about that meeting with Naya brings up what's going on with her and her husband. Her husband now has chosen to go on tour. As you know, last week, the big issue was that he doesn't want to give up on the idea of having a baby. Now that has poked a hole in their relationship. So now they're examining what it's going to be like where they're physically not with each other. But then I'm reminded of, remember when they were at the farmer's market and he was just going over to another booth and he gave her that passionate kiss? Here's the thing. Even though you might have a passionate situation with someone, if they have a dream of having a baby or having a family or doing certain things, sometimes, I mean, probably all the time, that should. Here's the thing. Look, here's the thing. Oh, Jackie's Bobby Lee. Thank you so much. I was like, who is Bobby Lee before? Thank you. Can we just stick with the character names? Look. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, thank you. He's yearning for a baby. Look, and sometimes what happens is, even though you might be a perfect couple together, if there's something that you're yearning for, you might end up resenting the other person if you don't go for that thing. I'm invested in Naya now. You know, I didn't love Naya before, but the friendship between Naya and Miranda felt more organic as the episodes went on. But now Miranda's going away, and Naya was like, I planned for us to be hanging out and doing things. Unfortunate. But here we are. Okay. So the light. I don't know if you've ever had weird things happen in your life and you've taken them as a sign from the other side. Well, that seems to be what's happening with Carrie's light. It's sending her a sign. She thinks. If she brings it to, do they even have? I know in New York City we have maybe a couple of them left where you can go and bring a light to get fixed somewhere. I don't know about where you live. I know that there's a couple of them still left here in the city. So she brings her light to get fixed because she thinks something's wrong with it. She doesn't think, part of her thinks it's big, and part of it's like, no, it can't be. And then when she has the conversation with Miranda and Charlotte, the more, she's traditional, but she also believes in love. She believes in that kind of stuff. And Miranda's a little bit more, the real Miranda comes back out and she's like, you believe in that? We believe in that now? And she's like, well, I'm a little undecided right now about that. That was an interesting situation because I had to kind of have it make sense in my head, because I was just like, I can get Miranda not believing in it, but then I was like, I don't know if I believe that Charlotte believes in it. But then I was like, Charlotte believes in love, and that will make you believe in almost the impossible. Uh-oh, Miranda's cold. Miranda's cold. Thank you, Norma. Norma says, absolutely. Like, I see you on next seasons of And Just Like That, believe. Sherry says, it must kill SJP that a text from an off-screen Samantha Jones is the one and only interesting piece of dialogue in this episode, and also the only good thing about this entire series. Ouch. Damn. That was lethal. Just saying. I beg to differ, though. I beg to differ. Because if the show was not good, we would have cut out from this weeks ago. We've done it before. You remember Queens? Insecure. Lotus is like, sheesh. Sister of the Moose says, I agree with Sherry. Christy says she converted to Judaism and took it very seriously. Yes, she believes that doesn't make her or those who do have faith dumb and seeing Easter bunnies. This is true. I'm not saying it. I believe in that stuff too. Mar says there are a lot of YouTube channels bashing Asian. Oh yeah, I know, because I report on it. Those come up on my feed as well. But all the bashing has brought attention to the show. That has not hurt the ratings. They will get a season 2. They will get a season 3. People are still invested in the show. Daphne says, we just need the spice of Samantha. And I think that's what they tried to do with Seema. And based on everyone's reaction to Seema, I think people are loving Seema. I'm loving Seema. And I'm loving the organic friendship that's building between Carrie and Seema. That was the first organic relationship that we were introduced to this season that felt right. That felt right. Bum, 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 bum. Seaworthy says they're hate watching. That doesn't okay, let me just tell y'all something. There are plenty of people that hate watch us too. That doesn't hurt ratings. That doesn't hurt advertisers. Advertisers are seeing the ratings. So even if they're hate watching, doesn't necessarily mean that it's good or bad. But that's still not going to stop the show from airing. And if you recall, if you go all the way back to Sex and the City, the critics didn't like Sex and the City either. Just saying. Just saying. Eleni says, I believe the spirit comes through electricity. They can come through anything they want to. They could. Y'all remember, if y'all were here on Sunday, I think a spirit was coming through. They turned off my camera. Exactly, Shantae. A view is a view. And that's all advertisers care about. People are watching. Just saying. All right, guys. I'm going to drop the call link because I do want to hear what you guys have to say about And Just Like That, the finale for season 1. Thank you so much, Latasha, for the super chat. Latasha says, do you think Miranda will end up going back to Steve? Nope. We were shocked that she was still with Steve. We were shocked that her and Steve showed up on the Brooklyn Bridge in the movie. Like, this was inevitable. Steve will still be back next season. It'll be interesting. Did Steve take off his ring? Is Steve dating? We shall see. Oh, Latoya, you're right, because she loves Sex in the City. I wonder if Wendy Williams watched Just Like That. I miss you, Wendy. Oh, yeah. I wonder if she... Here's the thing, though. If you know Wendy, you know she doesn't know how to get on HBO Max. So maybe if she had someone help her do it, then maybe she did. Maybe she did. We shall see. Let me drop the call link. Hold on, y'all. Because as always, I'm doing everything. Guys, if you just joined us, we are live on multiple platforms. What's going on TikTok? We are also live on Twitch and Twitter at TheKempire. We are live, of course, on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Don't forget, guys, later on tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, my exclusive interview with Ladies Who List Atlanta star Crystal Kimbrough will be airing. So stay tuned for that. That will be at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. PST. Set your reminders. The link is already available. Shantae, now I'm going to take a little bit longer, Shantae. Look, now I'm going to take a little bit longer. Guys, if you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video and be sure to share the video. Sharing is caring. Just saying. Look, just saying. Rock's They Mitzvah. Rock is like, I'm not here for it. I don't want to do it. And you know what it is? And this is a great conversation to have. I think we all have this sort of conversation with ourselves as we're, leaving high school or going to college. Like, everyone's telling you what you need to do next. And Rock is like, I don't know if I believe in any of this stuff. I don't know if I want to do any of this stuff. I don't blame Rock. I don't. I thought it was kind of corny, though, that Charlotte ended up going up there and doing it. But here we are. But that was also where Carrie let Miranda and Charlotte know that she wants to go to Paris to... rewind. Carrie's meeting with Big's brother. He was like, where's Big? And she's just looking at him like, he's dead. But we also get a timeline. It's been a year. It's been a year since Big has died. And she doesn't know what she wants to do with it. We later see a scene where Carrie is given that little sign from the light. And then she has a dream. And these are the scenes that were edited, guys. You may recall there were photographs of Chris Noth filming other scenes. He was supposed to be, I think, in like 6 other episodes, like flashback scenes. And we literally did not get to see him at all. We heard his voice. And I think any other flashbacks that we get in the future, you'll just hear his voice. You won't see him anymore. Damn. Look, damn. But I get it. I get it. And then, of course, Carrie goes to Paris. That's her sign that she needs to go to Paris. So she lets the girls know, I'm going to Paris. I'll pay for everything. Carrie was broke before. Now she got money. I'll pay for everything. But Miranda's like, I'm going to California. And then they have that little, Miranda and Carrie, little battles. They have that little battle in the bathroom. And then, of course, we have Rabbi Jen come out and give some advice to the ladies. Carrie decides to go on her own. I don't know if that was a good idea. That to me was like, it was a beautiful scene, but then a nothing scene at the same time. I hate to say that, but it's true. Look, it's true. It was like a nothing scene. I don't know. But what made the scene for me is when she texts Samantha, I'm in Paris, want to meet up? Oh, she didn't say it like that, but you know what I'm saying. And they do meet up. We don't see them meet up, but they do meet up. Then she said tomorrow night. It's literally like, a 2-hour train ride from London to Paris? I wonder how they're going to handle the whole Samantha situation next season. They're already thinking about it. Squill, my name. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you all for being here for our And Just Like That recap. If you're watching the replay of this, shout out to the replay crew. Let me know that you're part of the replay crew in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Live chat, how would you rate this? First of all, well, I'm going to rate now just the season finale. If you had to rate it from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? And then I want to know how you would rate the season as a whole. I would rate this episode, I'm going to give it an 8. 8 is the first one that came into my mind. So that's how I would rate the episode. The season, I'm going to give it like a 7.5 because I would lean towards 8, but I'm going to give it a 7.5. I thought it was a solid season. I felt it was a little too woke moment at times. I still don't look. Y'all thought I almost forgot about the fries situation. Nope. I'm going to bring up the fries situation again this week. No black woman's going to be eating off someone else's fries. Just saying. All right, we got quite a few people backstage, and I know they have lots of opinions, but I see what you guys are saying. 7, 8.2, episode 8, season 6. That's not bad. Okay, all right. Michael Jackson says episode 8, season 9. That's pretty good. Okay, for the entire season, 6.427. All right. Season gets an 8. All right. Season. All right. These numbers aren't bad. These numbers aren't bad at all. Just saying. All right, Shantae, I see you back there patiently waiting or impatiently waiting. Let's bring Shantae up for a quick comment. What's going on, Shantae?
Hey, I didn't mean to rush.
It's all right. What did you think of the season and this last episode? Like, have you been invested?
Oh, yes, definitely. The season was pretty good. I feel like, after about 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, yeah, they're doing just fine without Samantha. It would have been great if they had her, but you know what? They did it. I think they did fine without her. They really don't need her.
Yeah.
I am still invested in knowing how they're going to reconcile the fact that she's not there, or is she just going to be living in Carrie's phone?
I
So
mean, I got a few exes like that.
exactly. So I think that's pretty much where it's going to stay. She's just going to be living in Carrie's phone, Skype, whatever. I still think they should invest in making the episodes a full hour, a full 60 minutes, because they're like 40 minutes. This one was like 42 minutes. I'm like, just round up and go to 60. Just make it a full hour. Pack it with a little bit more. So maybe they'll write a little bit differently, write a little bit better for the next season. Hopefully we'll get our wish, because I think it should be a full hour personally.
Yeah. I want to see this documentary as well that Sass is bringing up.
Yes, I haven't watched it yet. I'm definitely going to catch that. Miranda's storyline it's weird because it's like everybody's always been saying she's always been cold. She's always been not totally on board. We can remember back when her and Steve got married. she just wanted to like check out of her honeymoon. Like she just did not want to be there. She didn't want to do all the lovey-dovey romantic stuff.
Yeah.
And yet she turns around and gets mad when he cheats. And now she wants to, like, so she's just cold and wishy-washy. I won't be surprised if she and Che break up or she leaves, moves back to New York, and her and the teacher wind up together because the teacher couldn't make it work with her husband. I mean, seriously, that's just because she is such a mess. She's like a squiggly road map. She don't know where she's going. She doesn't know. She can't do a straight line. She just, no pun intended. But that's where I see that going with her. Just some crazy stuff. Um, Charlotte, it does not surprise me. She handled the bat mitzvah. What's she call it? A bay mitzvah?
Bay mitzvah. Mm-hmm.
The bay mitzvah. I'm sorry. It does not surprise me she handled it the way she did because, as we know, with Charlotte, presentation is everything.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is on brand for her. Going all the way back to when her and Trey made that adult grown-up decision to divorce. And what does she still want Trey to do? She still wanted Trey to take that photo so she could be in the New York Times. Remember that?
Yeah.
Even though they were still divorcing, presentation. She wanted to see, she was sealing her place in the upper society. So that doesn't surprise me at all about Charlotte. Carrie, because I was wondering if they were going to ever explain, and maybe I had missed it, all these episodes, if they were ever going to explain about the timeline. I'm like, well, what is this, 6 months later? Oh, it's a whole year later. Okay, got it. And, I don't think they're ever going to address the time Carrie spent mourning Big. I really do think they purposely just wanted to speed it up and just get us on board and just get us acclimated to her dating again.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm liking producer Bay. He's sexy.
Okay.
I like him.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
he is.
Franklin,
yes. Franklin, producer Bay, because I'm the producer. But yes, I like him a lot.
Shante, we appreciate you calling in. Have a great evening. All right. Hold on one second. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for the super chat. Jasmine says, hopefully I can get through this call. Get through to this call in. Did you call in? I don't see you, Jasmine. I don't see you backstage. Storm says the alleged original script called for Miranda to get with the teacher, allegedly. I love how you said the alleged original script called for Miranda to get with the teacher, allegedly. I'm kind of glad they didn't go there. I'd much rather see a girlfriend situation than just like that. I like them as girlfriends, not as, anything else. You know what I mean? Anyways, Grateful Edge, 100% agree with the call of Miranda equals a mess. You know what? All right. Amy, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
I give this season a 10, but I give this finale a 6.
Ooh.
I did do that. I really feel like because it's not their fault. I feel because they edited so much out with Big, it felt empty. I'm gonna be honest. I was just like, okay, the lights going on are going off, and I hate to say it, when she dumped his ashes in the that was so cringy because it kind of came out, and I was thinking, I don't know, just think of a body just kind of lopsidedly falling into the water, and I was just like, oh, this is cringy. I'm being honest. I did not like.
Did you notice that person is the same person she had in Paris before?
Yes, but I love this scene. I just didn't like the way they threw his ashes. I thought I kind of.
Were you not into the whole ashes throwing anywhere?
No, I wanted her to be like on a boat and maybe like drizzle them a little,
Oh.
Like, I don't know.
Here's the thing about her dumping his ashes there. I would have believed that she would want her ashes dumped there. I don't think Big would have cared.
That's for me too. I was thinking this is more of your dream, Carrie, not Big. Big seems like so more simpler. You're more the hopeless romantic. We fell in love with the bridge. So that was the one part I felt like they had to push that in because they got rid of all of his like his clips. So I didn't blame. I just felt like it was empty. It really was empty. And then I feel like they sped up. They kind of filled in the holes with like the whole bar mitzvah, the mitzvah. I didn't. The girl. They was very entitled because my mama would have whooped my butt and made me do it. It would not have been like, I don't feel that right there. I was just, I can't get with.
After you spent all that money, for the mitzvah. First of all, a bar mitzvah are expensive. They're not cheap.
Yes.
So
Even even for Charlotte, be like, we're still gonna do. No, my mom would have wore me out all the way through that whole spot. So I wasn't really. I was like, that's some entitlement I just cannot get with. I really want for next season though. What I want to see, I'm not gonna lie. After seeing Seema and Carrie talk, I was like, can we build a whole new cast of single fly friends that Carrie can kind of attach herself? It's sad to say Miranda is just so messy right now. I just don't see how they are going to connect. And Charlotte is so invested in just being a parent. I'm ready to see the grown and sexy. When I see Seema and Carrie on camera, I just get a vibe. It's just the vibe that I would love to see more of. Like I want to see them
like this. Like, hold on, wait. I think I got a picture of them. Where's my picture of them? Hold on, is this the picture of them?
Yeah, I just get a whole vibe. I'm loving it. Maybe they can add the woman. I mean, I don't know her name, but the girl who her husband left her because she don't want kids. Add her to the clique. Okay, add Naya. They can all just hang out and just vibe out. I'm just feeling that group. I'm just feeling her right now. Those two, and it's not that I don't like Miranda or Charlotte. I just say I'm not connected to their stories. Miranda is wilding out, but I just don't see where it's going. Shay's leaving, and we're gonna get Miranda
Maybe
back.
they wrote her off this episode. She went to California.
Yeah, I'm hoping if they write her off, maybe Miranda can just be wild with her crew. But I just really am done with the Shay character at this point because I just felt like they were going to give Miranda a lesson on life, and it seems like they're not doing that. Like you just don't dope your family for some flimsy love affair. I feel like they're more so like protecting Shay's character as more like pure, like she really did care for Miranda. But I was just like, no, just really just dig it in so we can move on. Like, but I don't mind them bringing Shay back. But if they are, I'd rather see more of Seema, Carrie, and Nyla. Those three.
Okay. All
It's sad
right.
to say.
Amy, we love it when you call in. Thank you.
Okay, have a nice one.
You too. You guys are a mess. You know, I have to admit this. Look, I understand Chris Noth and what he's done. Damn him. Damn him. What did Charlotte say to him in the movie? I curse the day you were born because he ruined this. Thank you, Anthony. I see you backstage, Anthony. I curse the day that you were born. Because I think that scene on the bridge would have been different if he was kept in. And I understand why they edited him out, but I think it would have felt different if he was still in there. Anyways, I'm having a moment. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget at 10 p.m. Eastern, my exclusive interview with Lady School List Atlanta star Crystal Kimbrough. You want to be there. You will want to be there. Okay. Christy, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Christy?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Okay. Well, first off, I have to mention you EGOTing in the back there. Do we have the Tony Award? That's the only one I don't see.
It's coming.
Okay. Right. I have 6 points. I'll try to make them fast. Okay. So first, since we were talking about the bridge and the ashes, does anyone think Big, who was over, I think he was 6 feet, right? And I'm guessing over 200 pounds, that all of his ashes fit
right
in that tiny little purse?
Okay, creative license, Christy. Creative license.
Okay. The other thing is, I definitely think the Paris trip was more about what Carrie wanted. I mean, when he tried to leave to move to, what was it, California, she was like, you can't leave New York. You're the Chrysler Building. But now you want his final resting place to be in Paris?
That's where my final resting place should be, not Big's.
Right? Okay. I think we were all so excited for this. I think expectations were just really, really high. So I feel like the come down was just harder for some people. And I think the writers really shot themselves in the foot by adding too many characters. You only had 10 episodes. How could you realistically add 4 new people and do that well? Yeah. You know what I mean? I think they should have just added Seema and I'm sorry, the professor, what's her name? Naya. Mm-hmm. And then have Miranda have this reawakening of like her sexuality and then have her date several different people. And you could have added a bunch of different actors and different people that way. instead of just these like adding like 4 new main characters. It just was impossible. I don't understand what they were thinking.
But I have to say, the only one that for me by the end of it did not translate well was LTW. That was the only one by the end.
They gave her the least because I feel like her character was happy. And for some reason, people think happy isn't interesting. Like you have to have conflict in order to be watchable. I don't personally agree, but
yeah.
The only reason I would keep her is for Charlotte, because I don't think anyone is being a really good friend to Charlotte. Like Miranda bailed on Paris, and so Carrie's like, I'm gonna go by myself.
Right?
Catch you later.
Ouch! You're right.
And
but
when Rock was, misbehaving,
like
well, she has Anthony. Anthony's a good friend. But when Rock was misbehaving, she goes to LTW. Like she seems to. I mean, it seems like Carrie and Miranda are their own friend group, and then there's Charlotte off to the side who occasionally has lunch with them. But Stanford, I wish more thought had been given to his goodbye. I think a really nice send-off could have been when Rock was being a brat and decided not to go through with the day mitzvah. At bar mitzvahs, day mitzvahs, like a lot of people bring checks to give to you. So you had all that money in that room. I think a really good idea would have been for Charlotte to say, I'm so sorry this didn't go the way we planned, but we would really appreciate it if you would give to a charity to pancreatic cancer in honor of a dear friend. Just something that would have nodded to him, to his, instead of just having him be sent off to Japan and just never thought of again. Just something. Because he died while they were still like filming. Like they could have added something as a better send off.
I agree.
I lost my uncle to pancreatic cancer, so
I'm so
it
sorry
has affected my family deeply. It's one of those things where it just happens so fast, and you see someone just crumble. It's horrible.
Wow.
Let me see. Oh, okay. Carrie saying that Big dying was her worst breakup. I really wish she would have mentioned the Post-it, the paper.
Right.
That was an awesome breakup. Iconic. But if she wasn't trying to be funny, if she really does think that Big dying was a breakup, that leads me to think that maybe when she ran in and she held him as he toppled over, that she saw his phone wasn't that far from him. And maybe she thinks he didn't try that hard to stay with her. I mean, we saw him reach and then his arm hurt, but he didn't want to try reaching with his other hand or saying, hey, Alexa. I don't think he tried that hard. And maybe she subconsciously knows that. And she's feeling like this is more of a breakup than is grieving a death.
Wow.
So those are my thoughts.
Deep, Christy. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Now you got me thinking things, and I'm sure Michael Patrick King is watching. Hey, you. Wow. I really love the pancreatic cancer nod that you suggested. I think that would have been brilliant. I think they were just so thrown by Willie Garson's death because they really did plan for him to be a part of it.
I read in an interview how he was saying he couldn't make it funny or cute, so he just didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
But it's like, get over your hard emotion. Like I know like feeling things can be difficult and hard, but you owe that respect to that person that was in your life for so long. So it might be uncomfortable for you, but show him some respect.
I also didn't see them. Did we see any memorial to him at the end of any of the episodes? No, right? I don't know. All right, Christy, I appreciate you calling in.
I love calling in. I finally this is one of the shows I actually watch instead of just listen to the recap. So I love having an excuse to call in.
Yay. Thank you, Christy.
Bye.
Bye. Logan, Anthony, and Shady Gal, I'm going to get to you in just a second, but this is, again, your reminder. Get a coldest water bottle. If you haven't gotten one yet, why not? It keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. But the website doesn't just have water bottles. I learned they got pillows. They got other merch there, y'all. And you can get 10% off when you use the discount code KEMP10. 10% off with KEMP10. More information is available in the description of this video. Let me take a sip. All right. Logan, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Logan?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I have so many comments. Just congratulations on your new graphics. I love them.
Thank you.
With the M with the dark colors and then the M with the light colors. I love that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're doing a great job, of course. I did want to give the rating of the season in the episode. This episode, I think I'll give it an 8, but I'm going to give this season a 9 because it should have been longer. It needs to come back. I love this show. Like, I don't know if you can say I grew up on Sex and the City. I'm 29, and I probably wasn't supposed to be watching it, but I love it.
And you grew up on watching it on HBO, right? Because I heard an interview that Michael Patrick King did, and he said he thinks that people's opinions of it, especially like younger people, is based off of the edited version where you don't get the actual unedited HBO version of it.
Now it's both of those because I was sneaking to watch it. So there's that.
Did we lose you, Logan?
I'm here.
Right?
Okay.
Combinations.
Oh,
Thank you.
Sorry, picking up dinner.
Oh, I know that's right. Can you pick me up something too? Because I haven't eaten yet. I know it's late too. It's all right, Logan. Look, it's a live show. Any other thoughts before I let you go, Logan?
I did have thoughts on just kind of like rock. I don't know if my parents would be, we set up this that's like a christening or our birthday parties or pageants that I used to be like, just lots of things that my dad wouldn't have been like, we spent all this money and you're just going to make a decision. I guess I think I would probably be a different kind of parent because this generation, and I get it, we have to change with the times and be more open to certain things. But my parents would not have been like, okay, girl, sit down. No, get your behind up there. This is for your religion. This is for your culture, your heritage, and get your behind up there. Now.
Okay. All right, Logan. Well, enjoy dinner, and thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. And again, congratulations. I can't wait to see Crystal's interview. I really want to get into being a closing attorney, so I'm excited.
Ooh. Stay tuned, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, Logan. All right, Anthony, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Hold on. Let me put my headphones in. Wait. Norma says, I know Kempire is going to be like Julia on Real Housewives of Miami and faint if he doesn't eat. At least you know it was because I didn't eat. It wasn't because I'm lying about being drunk. Just saying. All right. There was a. Oh wait. Sass brought up a good point. Does Brady know who and why she is going to LA? I thought the same exact thing when Brady is worse than Rock. Y'all didn't like Brady this year. I didn't like Brady this year either. I think I liked him at the end, but I also thought the same thing. I was like, are we going to address the fact that you're going to go see your boo? Like, that was never really addressed. There's a lot of holes and not good ones. All right. Anthony, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, Kempire. Anthony.
How are you?
Good on yourself. I'm
Pretty
calling
good.
from Los Angeles, California.
Oh, just rub it in.
For starters, this is my shoe since it's Sex in the City. So backstory, I am working in retail. I am now an assistant manager, and I worked in thrift stores all my life, but now I am a assistant manager. So I need to be more dressy. Mark Nason from the Skechers brand. I always worn black Skechers all my life, and then now having this job, I need to be more dressy. So thank you to Mark. Love these shoes. They're so comfortable. I can sleep in them, work in them 24 hours.
Not sleep in them.
But you know what I mean? Long day, pass out. Ooh, so for thoughts on this episode and overall the season, series, I will give it a 7. Like Logan, I think when the first movie came out in theaters, that's when I noticed this is actual a show. So I watched it through HBO Max on demand through my parents' cable at night or in the morning before they actually see it. So that's how I knew it.
How old were you when you were watching it?
I believe 15 or 16. But I mean, I don't know.
It's not too bad.
No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit more mature for my age. So I understood what was going on. My parents had the Birds and the Bees talk when I was like 13, 12. So I,
I'm
I
still waiting on the
understood.
Birds and the Bees talk with my parents.
Ooh. But it was just like, I, I get it. But then growing up when I was, I think during that pandemic of 2020, I rewatched it during HBO Max. So I have a full understanding of what I was watching back then. So I watched the whole series twice. And from this show, I would give it about a 7. Like you said, there are loopholes that I was missing and that I would like fully understood and more backstory. Like for Miranda, I understand her wanting to not be with Steve and wanting to be more open and I guess more explore the world. I guess that's what Che was doing for her.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be in a relationship. I don't want Che live in Los Angeles, stay there, let the pilot work out. Don't just live in LA. Just don't go to New York. Leave Miranda alone. And I would like for Miranda to take from that with her and just be more, I guess, open. I don't know what other word to use for that, but I see a change in Miranda, especially with her red hair mixed in with a little bit of her gray. I think that's what I've seen, a little bit of gray streaks with her red hair now.
Oh, look at you,
So
eagle eye.
I believe there was some gray streaks in her red
I
hair.
know what you're saying. It wasn't like completely red.
No, it was a good mixture. It's what because I love her as a redhead. It makes her more bold, and it's what we know her to be. And it's not completely what it used to, but it's a good modern version of what we know Miranda to be. And I can see her, and I hope for next season that she explores that more and she finds herself again, which I feel like that's how we are in life when we get older. We're finding a little bit more about ourselves and
Hopefully.
hopefully, right? For Miranda. For Charlotte, I expected this to be Charlotte's storyline. I don't know. A picture perfect family, trying to make things work, especially with Rock, which brat. But I understand it, and I know
Wait,
Charlotte's
did you
more
say brat?
brat. Yes, especially with this whole bar mitzvah. Like, come on, you could have just spoke to your mother about from the very beginning. I don't want to do this. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. That's what I'm like. With Charlotte, but I love how she didn't overreact to it. Just stand up there, say the lines, get this party over with, and moving on and popping. So I love that for Charlotte. But I would like to see a little bit more from outside the family, I guess, to speak. Like I miss her days in the art galleries and especially at the dinner with LTW when she was speaking about the art pieces. I'm like, I completely forgot Charlotte was this. And she
Yeah.
knew all this information. I want her to, I guess, maybe explore that a little bit more. I would have expected her by now to own her own art gallery at this day and age, but I guess that's what she chose, which I'm not hating on. I love it. I mean, Lily turned out to be amazing, the favorite daughter, at least for me. I love Lily, especially with her and Carrie. Like, that's just really good moments.
Yeah.
And then for Carrie, I I love the ending for her for this episode, especially with the podcast, because I think it's a good route from books to now giving advice live, like from what I've seen from you, Kempire. I love how Carrie is doing that and is starting to do that because I kind of expected that in a way for her to do this in today's times. Because I mean, I do read books, but in terms of instead of reading, I don't have time. I just put on my headphones to listen to podcasts. So I think that's a good route for Carrie to go on, and I would love to see that more explored in season 2.
Yeah.
And then lastly, for Samantha Kim Cattrall, I am a Samantha. I'm 75% Samantha and 25% Carrie. So yes, that's how.
No
That's how,
judgment. I'm sorry.
that's how I see myself and how I grew up, especially 21 and over. Now that I'm 27, that I see myself more of a Samantha, taking charge of my own life, giving my own, just being more confident, more strong-headed with myself and for myself, for my own good love. I love how they handled it. Like you said, I feel her presence in the show, especially from. Okay, sorry, I especially from the second episode in the funeral with those flowers.
Oh yeah.
I I was like Britney Spears in that Barbara Walters interview. Like, can
Oh,
we stop?
you're about to cry now.
I'm about to cry right now. But because I felt that, and it hit me like a ton of bricks because I did that for my own grandfather when he passed away, and I gave flowers. He lives in Peru in South America, and it was just like, oh my God, I can't. Sorry. And then that I can't. I love that, and seeing the text messages and from the last part from we see in this episode, I love that. I'm not sure if Kim would ever come back. Like you said, Michael Patrick King did say it might not be open or it is not open at all.
They pretty much said the door is closed.
Well, is it locked though? Like with the lock? And I'm not sure. But my overall question and thought for you, would you like the whole Samantha Jones presence to still continue on, or would you rather that not be mentioned?
I'm open to Kim either coming back if she wants to and they want her back. If she doesn't come back, I wouldn't care. I don't mind the random text messages because I have a lot of friends that just live in the phone.
Same thing for me. So I relate to hers because I always check in on my friends every now and then. But in terms of seeing, I'm not even sure. I hope things go well with drinks with Samantha and Carrie. Yeah. But if it, I would like to know about that the first episode of season 2.
Okay.
Really gotta say that's the real question at hand.
Like what really went down. Anthony, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Kempire. Have a good one.
You too. All right, y'all. We got 4 callers backstage. I have my interview coming up at 10 p.m. You got to be quick. And I have not eaten. Guys, we have over 300 and something people watching this. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Even if you're hate watching, like the video. Because obviously you're here again for a reason. All right. Shady Gal, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Shady Gal?
Hi, Kempire. I'm mad I get the time limit now because I know you're hungry. You have your interview, but so many feelings right now. So many feelings. I would rate the overall season the same way I feel about the finale. I give it a 6 because it started off really strong. The first 3 episodes, I was in there. I was hooked. I felt the drama. I felt the loss of Big. Now, that one caller who's like, he could have tried harder. Baby, he having a heart attack. His heart done stopped. What you want him to do? Get it pumping his damn self? Like, girl, the man is dying. And he had previous heart issues. It was time for him to go. He was still smoking them cigars, still eating that red meat. 10 years after he had heart surgery 10 years ago. Because he came into Sex and City with a clogged ticker. Like, let's not rewrite history now. Then he wasn't the healthiest man. He was ripping and running out there, getting it and holding it. He, back in the day, they called him the next big Donald Trump. That's what they said in the first episode. Let you know that's how he was rolling. Which is why now Carrie has money. That's why Carrie got money now, girl. That's why she could it's all on me, guys. It's all on me. I can afford to send us to Paris. Which
I need friends like that.
I know, right? Where my rich friends at to sponsor my life? But why she dump him like that, Kempire? She just dumped him in the river, just like bloop. Bye, Big. Thanks for the check. It was like shake, shake, shake. That's what you get for giving that girl that $1 million. Can't stand you. That's supposed to be my $1 million. That's how I felt when she was shaking that purse. Like when she dumped his ass in the dang river. She just dumped him, giving Natasha that money. And I don't know. Like I'm hopeful in terms of Samantha living in the phone. Michael Patrick King, hear us and hear me right now. This is your way to bring Samantha back, even if it's in the phone. Lie and say that she went to London because the pandemic made her think that life is too short, and she knew Smith moved there because she kept in touch with him. He left California. He moved to London. That's why she moved to London. That's why she hasn't come back. She got back with Smith. She reconsidered. Heck, I even take Richard at this point. But to have someone like Samantha, who literally was that everybody's down home girl, even for Charlotte. Charlotte called her a slut to her face for sleeping with her brother. But when she found out in I think it was season 4, when someone stole Charlotte's baby's name, she cussed that woman out at her own baby shower. You big, that's loyalty. She was Carrie's oldest friend, the only person from Sex and the City to ever appear in the Carrie Diary spinoff on CW.
Remember that? That should have been on longer.
It should have. The person who Carrie first openly told she had 2 abortions, and Samantha took her for one of them. That's something they forgot to mention. Samantha took her for the first abortion, because this would have been within the Carrie Diary timeline. Was the person that when Miranda's mama died, she talked to Samantha, like, do our girl justice, like, because we don't have that comedy. Like, Samantha was the sex, but she was the comedy. I don't have those wisecracking jokes. And they've had other people try to fill the role. Anthony comes close, but it's not Samantha. Like, even in the phone.
You know who really brought the comedy? Unfortunately, may he rest in peace, Willie Garson. Those first 3 episodes, he was bringing it.
He was. And that's why I felt like it worked. But once we lost him, we had no one to bring that in.
Yeah.
And like, we need that. I didn't mind LTW. I feel like she and her relationship with Charlotte needs to be expanded on, because I felt like that was a missed opportunity for the writers, because she was at the day mitzvah. She would have went back there and like, look, honey, your great-grandparents survived the Holocaust. Your mother converted to Judaism. If you don't get your ASS out there, I'm going to beat you from the rooter to the tutor, and you going to get up there and say that Torah. That would have been such a moment for her to do for Charlotte, just like Charlotte saved her with her mother-in-law with the art. Like that was such a missed opportunity. I mean, I'm glad we had that moment with the rabbi, but man, that was a black auntie moment. Like, get over here, get your butt up there and read that.
All right, Shady Gal, I have to go. I have way too many people backstage. I just want to get through everyone, but I appreciate you calling in and giving us the perspective on why Samantha needs to be brought back.
Thank you. You have a great evening.
You too.
And can I just say this last thing? Can we bring back the real Miranda, not Cynthia? I've had fun watching Cynthia this whole season, because this is literally Cynthia's life, but I need Miranda back. Okay. And I'm out.
All right. Thanks, Shady Gal. All right, Suede, Jasmine, and Nadia. I'm going to bring you guys up real quick comments. Suede, what's going on?
Hi, can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to be quick. I have 4 quick points, but I won't elaborate. Okay. Point 1, overall, I give the show a 6.5, a 7 on a good day. And right now it's not a good day, so 6.5. Because of the pacing. Like the caller before said, in the beginning, it was great. I was in tears. I felt it. But in the middle and towards the end, I just kind of gave up on it. I just wanted to be mad at the characters more than care about the characters. On 2, on the day mitzvah, my question is, wouldn't Charlotte already have like a bar mitzvah thing when she converted? So like, doesn't that kind of cancel it all? So I just kind of thought like it was nice, but she already went through all this. I like a real mom, I'm not a parent, but like I know all of our moms would have yelled at us, pulled us by the hair, show up and say something to the crowd, let these people know I paid this money. And then my 3rd, and then I have one more after this, kind of what everyone is saying, Cynthia Nixon needs to stay out of the writing room and let Miranda be who Miranda was, because Che and Miranda would have worked if it wasn't Cynthia Nixon and Che. Like, I was just over it. And by the time they gave her red hair, I was like, okay, I don't really care what color your hair is right now. You're still a bad person. And then my last one is I really miss, I just forgot her name, the costume director from the original.
Oh, Patricia Fields?
Yeah, Patricia Fields. I couldn't remember the second one. Because I hate watch Emily in Paris, but I watch it because the costume is so pretty. It's awful, but it's pretty. Each piece is pretty. And just like, or whatever this show is called, the pieces are not pretty. And I just feel so bad. Even the last dress that Carrie wore, it looked stiff. It looked wrinkled. It needed a steamer. It was not like, it made her look stiff. It was a stiff ending to the show. I was just kind of disappointed. I didn't want to buy anything that I saw in the show. Damn. Other than the Brad Blackwood purse that I saw Charlotte carry. But other than that, I didn't want to buy anything, which is really like disappointing. So 6.5 today.
Okay,
Thanks.
that's still not bad. Thanks, Wade. Oh wow, I have to agree with the fashion, but the reason why Pat wasn't this word on the street, the reason why Pat wasn't able to do it was because she was styling Emily in Paris. But I don't know if that was necessarily the truth. But you never know. You never know. All right, Jasmine, I'm gonna bring you up for a quick comment. Oop, not Jasmine. Hold on, there we go. Jasmine.
Hi.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So yes, of course, I have a quick comment. I'll make it quick. I think that they wrapped it up. I give it a 6.5 as well. I think a lot of us have been watching for nostalgia's sake. I'm 34, so I, obviously also was in that age range where I really wasn't supposed to watch it, but as an adult, I kind of rewatched and fell in love with it. I think this episode didn't give us what we expected for a finale, but I also think that that's because we were uncertain about season 2, so they kind of wanted to wrap everything up nicely in the event that it was renewed, just kind of, in the interest of making sure everything had some finality to it. Rock knew better. You knew before you went to this Bay Mitzvah that you didn't want to do it. You could have told your parents this ages ago. We did not have to all show up and pay all this money and get everybody out here to be embarrassed at the very last minute in the 11th hour. That was ridiculous because you knew that you didn't feel this. You knew how you felt prior to this. And they've been transparent when Harry and Charlotte have approached other serious topics with them, with how they felt about their gender and all this. So I feel like that was a missed opportunity to kind of have the discussion about religion at that point and kind of really reaffirm what their beliefs were. So that was too little too late. And I also I'm agreeing with everybody else. Cynthia Nixon, this was real cute. You probably want to show us who you were, but we miss Miranda. Miranda was not this needy. She was not this codependent. It's very strange because it's almost like she took on such like a masculine energy and such a strong energy with Steve and with the men that she dated. But when it comes to Che, she's so uncertain and so unsure and so needy in this relationship. And it's just not a good look because that's not who we knew Miranda to be. And nobody wants to see that. You're not 13. You're not a teenager. You're not young. And you know what I mean? You're almost 60. Since you guys like to keep pointing it out, we got to keep hearing it. So we're going to remind you that you're too old to be acting this clingy. It's not cute, especially for a relationship that you've already established is going to be non-traditional. So she needs to really find her footing. And the last thing I'm going to say is I'm tired of Carrie. I don't want to hear nothing else about Big dying. Yes, we miss him. We know you lost your husband, babe. But you are not going to keep using that as a trump card for everything. Like when she said that was my worst breakup, Carrie, that man passed away. That was not about you. And we need you to not. It just wasn't. And she has kind of, and I know she's done it as a joke throughout the season, but after the second or third time, it was like, okay, girl, you're a widow. We know. We get it. We understand. You can stop. You can really stop that. Yes, feel your loss, but don't use it as like a conversation piece. I think that's part of the issue. Lastly, I think that she's back to her old Carrie in the sense that I'm starting to remember that Carrie was kind of the selfish friend, especially when it comes to Miranda and Charlotte. She's kind of judgy, and that's another thing with Miranda. Since when does she need Carrie's approval on absolutely everything? Because Miranda would tell her what she needed to hear on the original Sex and the City. Now she's like, well, what do you think? Well, I didn't think that we both felt this way. Well, I didn't know that you thought this. I care because it's you. And she was never, I don't ever remember her being that dependent on what Carrie's thought process was about what she was doing, So that's all I have to say about that. Hopefully they take all that into consideration, all the things that we've been saying, because I think the fans who have been steadfast in watching it, we're giving it a chance because we love the original show and we love the character. So, the critiques, I think they can kind of use it to build a better season going forward.
Fingers crossed for season 2. Jasmine, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. All right. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. Chris says, I didn't like how Miranda was more concerned if Brady liked her hair than what he thought about her relationship with Che. I want to know his feelings. I agree. I feel like they really kind of dropped the ball on that. It's sort of because you're not the first person to say that tonight. It's like, who cares about the hair? What does he think about you divorcing? He's 17 years old. Can we talk? All right. One last caller, guys. Don't forget at 10 p.m. Eastern, my exclusive interview with Ladies Who List Star, which is it's on air right now. Crystal Kimbrough will be premiering here on the channel at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. PST. Be there, be square. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Do all the, the things we're supposed to do. Come on now. All right. Last caller, Nydia, what's going on?
Hey, you guys. So I recently started watching the show, binge watching the show for like a month. And I catched up, watched the movies, and I'm watching the new and just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, like, with everybody saying how their parents wouldn't do this for Rock, I just think it's like I don't know. I don't want to sound rude, but I think sometimes white people don't care that much about things like that they just care about like just getting on with the show, especially with Miranda being so traditional. She just wanted to have that presentation go down the way she wanted it to. And with Miranda, I feel like she's always been so masculine, like Jasmine said, that she finally was able to like show her feminine side. But since she never was that feminine side of her, I think it just came off as clingy and weird. I mean, it was a whole different side of her. Like, she wanted smoke down her mouth. Like, what? Who is she? But and I think it's just like she's on this midlife crisis or whatever she's on. But I think it's interesting to see this side of her. Because yes, although like she's always been this person, like she's also going through a lot of stuff, and she realized that she's just not happy with Steve. Whatever, like it doesn't bring out what Che brings out in her. Yeah. So I don't know. It's been a lot. And with Carrie, I just can't believe she kissed that guy, the producer. Like it was just so, I don't know. Like it was just, I felt some chemistry, but and then again, it's her, like it is her to be that girl, to be just like, get caught up in the moment. Like she's kissed Aiden before while like being married to Big. And I was just like, I don't know. It left me confused, but I am happy for her. I wish they all would have gone to throw the ashes away. Maybe not there, but I do think they would have. I think it just would have been more romantic if they would have been in the ashes wherever Big's brother suggested. Like that was just so cute to me. But she got a sign or whatever, so I guess that's what did it for her. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty good. So I give the show I give it a 7. It had me tearing up in a lot of parts. It was really emotional. Or I'm just emotional, but it was good. It was
Thank
good.
you so much for calling in.
Of course. And I'm a new subscriber, by the way. So thanks for this platform.
Of course. I appreciate you being a part of it.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, guys. Going to wrap this up. Don't forget to like the video. Here are my final thoughts on the And Just Like That reboot. Look, I already understand if I was to produce a television show that so many people were invested in, not everyone's going to be happy. I do feel as if they really tried to be as woke as possible this season, and they kind of fumbled that. But they're not perfect. It still was a solid season. If I had to give the season an overall rating, I still would lean towards like a 7.5. I felt like it was solid. I like the ode to certain things, but of course, we're not going to love every single thing that they do, because in life, we don't love every single thing that other people do anyway. So there's always going to be some sort of conflict. But you know what it did do? It brought us all together to have this conversation every single Friday evening. And that, to me, is special enough. Stay tuned for next year when we recap it. Same time, same place, and maybe I'm in it. You never know. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for bringing something spicy to drink and to talk about, and your best shoes. Let's do it again. Thank you all. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, 10 p.m. Eastern, premiering here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. and on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily, my exclusive interview with Crystal Kimbrough from Ladies Who List Atlanta, which is on airing right now on OWN. So I will see you guys there. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, I'll see you in like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. All right, guys. Bye. Let's get out of here.
You mess this up like you always do. You want me back, but I'm through with you. You say, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to. You still love me, tell me, girl, can we work this out? And I know nothing's changed, still the same. I'm so done and I'm tired of this back and forth. Now you're in my head and in my bed, telling me it's over 'cause I'm not in love. You need more than my love as I watch you walk away. Tomorrow you'll say, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to. You still love me, tell me, girl, can we work this out? And I know nothing's changed, still the same. I'm so done and I'm tired of this back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Same old thing. I know you won't change, but tomorrow you'll say, I'm so